Superman and Goku. The debate between who would win in a fight between these two has sparked countless discussions, memes, and even heated arguments among fans of both DC and the Dragon Ball universes. But when we actually break down their abilities, power sources, and the core traits between each character, the truth is, this battle may not be as close as some people might hope. And today, that's what we're going to really be discussing. Why, despite Goku's incredible strength, Superman just has the upper way in ways that just Goku can simply not match in any singular form. If you want to get started off on this, obviously, the first thing we want to kind of discuss is the core differences between their powers. Superman is a character that has quite literally a limitless power source. Superman's power is tied to the energy of our yellow sun, a renewable source that fuels him and practically gives him limitless potential. When he absorbs solar energy, he continuously gets stronger and can do so passively even while in battle. He is a character that has spent his entire, basically, life on Earth, gaining and learning and kind of just grounding himself in more solar energy and gaining stronger and stronger by the older that he gets. We have seen in so many different versions of his own character where the amount of power that he can draw from the sun, whether he just drives straight into it or just how strong he can be in any specific version of him, can very much change, but no matter what, we know how strong he truly and truly is. In contrast, Goku's power depends on his life force, which is vast but finite. Every transformation he achieves, he draws on his own stamina, meaning he's essentially burning through energy reserves the more that he fights. He's a character that we've seen die, we've seen go through so much throughout his entire anime and all of his entire story, which gives him and gives us a fairly good insight onto exactly what his abilities are. And yes, obviously we've seen Superman die in specific ways and have very, very interesting storylines, but their powers and the differences between how they work is something honestly just so remarkably different and truly just opposite is makes it just such a more of an interesting comparison to even think about. Another thing that we actively have to talk about is the strength and durability gaps between those two when we have to talk about their powers. Superman's strength has been portrayed as nearly infinite. There are comic arcs where he literally moves planets and withstands supernovas like explosions. And we've literally seen Superman quite literally just hold up the entirety of the world when he gave Atlas an entire just break from having to hold up the entire heavens just for one day so he could go to his own daughter's wedding. Superman was doing this for so long, and we just kind of can assume how much strength that would actively take. Goku, while incredibly strong on the other hand, heavily relies on his own stamina and technique. His transformation, especially Ultra Instinct, will require an intense focus and physical toll, making his endurance more limited compared to Superman's solar-powered durability. When we also have to talk about things like this, we also have to talk about the fact of their speeds and reflexes are just so much vastly different. Superman is faster than light speed. Superman has repeatedly demonstrated his speed beyond light speed by so many different margins, making him one of the fastest beings in the DC universe. We've seen races with him having to go against somebody like Flash and usually being fairly close to that, and he is able to traverse the galaxies, dodge bullets, and even avoid attacks coming from the Flash. On the other hand, Goku's speed, while impressive within his specific universe, has its own upper limits. generally matched, like generally kind of matched light speed, but not really exceeding it. In straight speed match, Superman's ability to reach the speeds faster than Goku's top limits would obviously give him an edge. And when we're talking about a fight, that actively and truly so much matters in any specific versions of that. And another thing we also have to talk about the fact that Superman's combat reflexes are also extremely sharp, and he can react much faster than sound, making it very, very hard for Goku to land a hit. Even though Goku has been trained in martial arts and been trained so heavily, the speed difference between them would be fairly immense in almost any circumstance. And yes, some people can't talk about the fact that Goku by the end of Super is just so strong and has all of these specific abilities, but Goku has his upper limits, and we've seen in his fight with Jiren, and even Jiren was pushing those limits too. So we know that Goku eventually kind of has very much place that he can reach, and Superman would honestly just be well too far advanced in front of that kind of limit by far. And specifically speaking on something like that specific fact, while Goku's Ultra Instinct abilities do increase his reflexes, it is still bound by his own specific physical limitations. It's not like, oh, he can just dodge instinctively and be able to dodge so well. He can only dodge as fast as his body would actively physically allow him to. It's not like, oh, Superman can just throws a punch and Goku, no matter how fast Superman's throwing the punch, is just going to be able to avoid it. If Superman's throwing faster than Goku would even move, there's not much that Goku could do unless he's just basically able to, like, there's no much Goku can do unless he's just able to move faster than his own body would permit him, which wouldn't be physically possible for somebody like Goku. Superman, on the other hand, doesn't have to rely on transformation giving him the constant advantage. He doesn't have to go through Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, 4, all of these other variations just to gain the power that he already just has advantage to and has access to at any singular given moment in time. And the next thing we have to talk about, their battle stamina and specific physical limitations. Goku's, despite his Saiyan psychology and like physiology, he is only able to get stronger after every battle, but he's not specifically invincible. And as I said, after every battle, he each form basically does drain him, and he needs breaks to recharge. In longer fights, Goku's energy reserves can be shown to actively depleted. Superman, on the other hand, can last indefinitely under the sun. Even if he is weakened, exposure to sunlight restores his strength in moments, creating a significant endurance gap between them. Goku will eventually run out of stamina, run out of charge. Even if we talk about something like when he became a Super Saiyan God for the first time, it's basically something like that. He only can use those specific abilities for so long before he gets tired. When we've seen him get tired, that's not something that's going to be like very impossible to be happening. We've seen him reach the brinks of his own stamina and actively require other people to kind of come in and aid him. And in the fight like this, he's not going to have people right around him just being able to help him out. And another thing, the toll of the transformations that he has. Goku's higher transformations are incredibly taxing. Ultra Instinct, again, while powerful, has an extremely high toll. Something that he's literally had to quite literally learn on how to use without just truly leading to his body being absolutely exhausted and tired as soon as he uses it, leaving him exhausted for, as I said, very long periods of time. Superman, as I've already mentioned, does not have to rely on transformations, allowing him to fight at his peak without being strained by the body in any kind of way, and giving him a much more stable power level throughout the entire fight. Goku wouldn't be able to actively deal with something like that. He wouldn't be able to match the entire pace and stamina of Superman for the entirety of that fight. And no matter how much close the fight could potentially be, Goku just can't keep it up the entire specific time. And the only thing that honestly would have to give Goku is the active mentality and motivation. Goku has an extreme desire for a fair fight. Goku's Saiyan nature drives him to fight for fun and test his limits. Not necessarily to win at all costs, because he often holds back and gives his opponents a fair chance. But a fight like someone, and specifically a fight with somebody like Superman, would honestly probably give Goku an extreme delight. Specifically due to the fact of Superman would actually be someone that is gonna give him a fair fight in almost any specific normal cause and almost any specific normal stance. Even except if we go somewhere like they're just bloodlusted, Superman's gonna give him a fair fight. And specifically speaking of Superman, when defending his world, he can be ruthless, and he is willing to go all out to ensure victory. This is a very decisive and direct approach that could leave Goku for a specific quick defeat, but that is specifically if this world is being threatened, and usually in specifically a fight like this is probably not going to be, so there could be a very longer fight and actually like more interesting fights to be going on between them, but the option is obviously would still be there. And while Goku is like more specifically interested in the thrill of a fight, Superman is entirely focused on protecting Earth and its people. This makes him a lot more aggressive in scenarios, again, where he is forced to fight an adversary, unlike Goku, who probably might just hold back for sport. And that is probably one of his greatest downfalls. While, as I've already said, his Saiyan nature does drive him to fight, he is never truly fighting 100% from the exact start of the match. He holds off and gains his abilities and just kind of starts using more abilities as time goes along, instead of just starting the fight at 100 and trying to get it over with as quickly as possible, which is usually his greatest downfall that we have seen happen and cause problems for him in quite literally every arc that he has ever been in. Against every villain, that is Goku's one true downfall. And in a fight against Superman, that would just be even more annoying for something like that. So honestly, in the end, Superman's powers are designed with very few limits and limitations. He is often written to be the embodiment of a character who is near omnipotent in strength and invincibility. Goku's skill, while formidable, require a very specific kind of energy that depletes, and Superman's connection to the sun just grants him an energy and a limitless endurance that would really just prove way too much for Goku in any specific standpoint. This power difference, combined with Superman's speed and durability and unmatched will to protect, makes this a one-sided battle where Superman would almost inevitably come out with the upper hand. So please go down in the comments and tell me what you think. You guys think I'm just bugging and Goku would win in some weird fashion? Which, if you guys do, I need to actually have a talk with you about where your mind is and how you guys think. But just tell me down in the comment section below. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you guys can get caught up with all the latest videos that I do be posting. If you guys haven't already noticed by this week, I am posting like a madman, so I'm going to continue it up until at least Saturday, and we'll just see how everything goes. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.